Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to Beacon Pines. We are trapped in Sharper Valentine's office as the festival and all that is associated with it is about to happen, and I don't know how we're gonna get out. Let's talk to all our friends in here. Rolo, I can't believe Beck sold us out like that. She was trying to protect her mom. You understand. I'm not sure she had any other choice. So what now? What's the plan? I don't have one. Can you take the fake mustache off, Rolo? I know you're older now. Maybe he likes the look. Maybe he likes the look and that's why he's keeping it on. Of course you do. You always have a plan. Rolo, you just need some time. Rolo, it's over. We lost. But the narrator didn't give us a game over yet.
Nellie was staring at the floor, deep in thought.
Sorry, Luca. Give me a minute to calm my mind. Hey. I'm sorry, Luca. I did what I had to do. I know, it's just... we were so close. I've got a feeling that eventually Solomon will get what's coming to him. Time wounds all heals. Oh, that's an intentional turn of phrase. I thought she had a bit of a malapropism thing going on, because she reminds me a bit of Fi from Zero Escape, who also has a habit of, like, saying phrases incorrectly. So, but I get it. Time wounds all heals. Heal as in a asshole. Well, time seems like less of an issue for him now. Alright, Nellie has something to say to us finally. Luca, there's something you should know. After Mr. Kerr locked me in the office, I had nothing but time and curiosity. I poked around a bit, hoping to find a means of escape, but I found something else. A note, hidden in a false drawer. What sort of note? Dr. Prescott must have sensed his time at Perennial Harvest was growing short. So he left behind a letter, with the hope it would be found by his successor. It was a confession of sorts. He left it for me, but its contents... Luca, I think they were meant for you. Why? What did it say? It was about an incident with your mother. Dr. Prescott found her in his lab with a stolen keycard. There was an accident. She had been exposed to extreme amounts of Tempest liquamine.
The color dropped from Luca's face.
Is she... She survived. Dr. Prescott decided to help her recover. He no longer trusted Perennial Harvest, so he kept her whereabouts a secret. Over time, your mother led him to reconsider the purpose of scientific discovery. Science is often at the vanguard of change, but that doesn't always mean it's right. Or always right. He realized that no one should have control over something as powerful as time itself. I now believe that's why he began to intentionally sabotage his own work. And it cost him his life. That's a reasonable conclusion.
Luca was overwhelmed with emotion.
But if she's alive, where has she been? Where is she now?
A sudden explosion sounded from the hull.
It sounds like she's here to rescue us.
Chapter 8. Comeuppance. Ears still ringing, Gran picked herself up off the ground. Through the dust and smoke, she looked over to see Mrs. Fratelli helping Hiram Tulliver to his feet. She'd had to beg, borrow, and steal to acquire those explosives.
Did she decide to use them for something different than their original intended purpose? Because I was like, if the festival's about to happen, then that means that Gran and her associates are about to blow up the source and freeze the town, but it sounds like she heard about what happened to us and decided to come rescue us.
How many nights had she spent visualizing how she'd use them to make things right? And now, her one shot at destroying the source, that damned hole that swallowed so much of her life, was gone. traded for this jagged hole in a wall and a foolhardy shot at rescuing Rollo. With Fratelli and Tolliver at her side, she stepped through. It was a strange feeling. The last time she'd stalked this maze of hallways, it was in a different body. They quickly rounded a corner to find a group of clipboards guarding a door. Something worth guarding is probably something worth seeing. She leapt forward, brandishing her cane. If her last chance at vengeance for things lost was truly gone, she would just have to fight to keep what she still had.
Yay! Oh, look at her brandishing her cane. Gran, what are you doing here? Luca, what are you doing here? We're here to save Nellie. We are here to save Rollo. Hey, Mrs. Lucas Gran. That's awful nice of you. But I'm fine. Oh no, what did they? Gran, there's no time to explain. We have to go now. Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash.
They made their way out from deep within Perennial Harvest, just as Solomon finished up his speech.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket.
We've got to stop him.
In one smooth motion, he downed its contents.
Uh-oh.
A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
No! Well, I guess that's it. We lost. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Beck, what did you do?
With a mischievous look, Beck elbowed Luca. Remember when I had the vial behind my back?
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little... Huh. Would malice kill him? I mean, I'm wondering what a child would have on hand, a 12-year-old would have on hand to spike a potion with. Change sounds like the right answer, but I'm gonna go junk first.
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little junk.
Can't wait to see the look on his face when he realizes he drank his own cigar ash. How did ashes get into the vial? It was pretty easy to mess with the vial when it was behind my back. Oh, that's sneaky. Well, it's a bad habit anyways. Well, we said, bad habits are like 50-yard field goals. Huh? Hard to kick. That was a good one, Rollo's paw. You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Oh, Jesus. Well, that's one way to kick a bad habit.
As the last of what was once Sharper Valentine wafted into the air, the crowd began to disperse, still numb from what they had just observed. Sharper Valentine was gone for good. His end would be a new beginning for Beacon Pines, a new chance to let go of the things they had lost and grab hold of a new future. The end. Well, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a bit gratifying. If that feels to you like a good note to end on, I won't stand in your way.
Oh. Oh, there were 3 things on the table. I see. There was the ash, a bottle of alcohol, it looks like, and a plant. I guess this is like a choose your own ending kind of thing. But I'll see which one I like the best. Malice?
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little malice.
If we can keep him from completely dying. Oh! Malice was the name of the whiskey. I forgot. I was like, I noticed, and I was like, that's an interesting and specific name for the alcohol, but, okay. I thought she poisoned it or something, but if we can keep him from dying, if we can keep him a child, that would be my ideal. Um, I don't particularly want to kill him, but let's see what our other options are. Yep, dude had an unfinished glass on his desk. Figured his grow juice could use a little hair of the dog. You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Now that's what I call 80 proof whiskey. Damn, dude. Pop goes the weasel, out with a bang. That's the achievement I got.
The crowd gazed in stunned silence at the now empty stage. The quiet was broken when William Kerr sprinted off stage and into the distance. He was never seen around Beacon Pines, or anywhere else for that matter, again. Watching the silhouette of Kerr disappear over the horizon, Luca began to laugh. First, a low chuckle that became uncontrolled, heaving laughter. Through his tears, he was vaguely aware that the crowd had begun to laugh with him. The end. That was unexpected. Perhaps a bit of an absurd ending for my taste, but who am I to say? I'm only writing the damn thing.
Alright, a little change. This seems like the right ending. Now that I think about it, the narrator being like, you can choose that if you want, but it sounds a little stupid. That was her saying, this is the wrong ending. Okay, so change, it has been like the motific word throughout this entire story, so I'm gonna say a little change.
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little change.
Like pocket change? Your unlucky penny. Yeah, I plopped it in the vial when no one was looking. What's that going to do? No idea. That's the beauty of science. Now we observe. You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Holy crap, he's a baby? Yeah, but he's still Sharper, right? What he was no longer matters. You're gonna raise him to be better, right, Eris? Oh! This is an innocent child. With an absolutely stinky look on his face. I love it. I apologize for all the harm my father has caused you.
Eris awkwardly cradled the squirming child. She looked to her brother, her voice shaking with uncertainty.
Augustus, what do we? We do what Valentines always do. What must be done? I'll hurry home and prepare a crib for Father, young Sharper. That would be a great help, thank you.
She looked back down at the infant with equal parts kindness and terror in her eyes.
Well, hopefully they can raise him right. And hopefully he doesn't retain his evil designs in that baby head of his. Although I don't trust that face.
With a shake of her head, Eris addressed the crowd with a stern scowl.
Okay, everyone, the show is over. You may leave now.
Epilogue.
Alright, that was the right choice.
Beacon Pines' coldest summer on record came and went without much fanfare. Folks shared what they had, and none were left wanting. The new school year was ushered in by the falling leaves of autumn. After everything Luca, Rollo, and Beck had been through, middle school was bearable. The chill of winter didn't seem to bother people much. They kindled a hope for a better future in their hearts. When spring arrived, farmers planted their crops with a sense of joy and optimism. And as the dawn of the first day of summer came again, its light slowly spread through the shallow valley. It crept over the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, and came to rest on a young boy sleeping at dawn, his mind at peace, knowing he is here for a reason.
Do you still need your sweater? I guess so. Rolo, are you up yet? Roger that. It's a beautiful day at Mission Control. You gonna swing by? Be there in a minute. Check in with Rolo at the treehouse. But we're gonna check everywhere around town, right?
Over time, Eleanor began moving Walt's old things out of the closet and into storage. Eleanor had moved back into her bedroom, and now that she wasn't sneaking out late, she even slept there most nights.
Oh, good. You need your sleep, lady. Let's chill by the fire. 'Cause it's apparently still cold. Unless he's gonna, like, get out there and be like, oh, I'm gonna shed my sweater. It's not cold. The source isn't making everything cold. Mom, I'm ready to go now. You go on without me. I'll meet you there. I've got a batch of jam to finish jarring. It's funny. I only started making jam as a way to send messages without anyone noticing. But now I enjoy it. Oh, good. Where is she gonna meet us? That book's still lying out there. Beginner's Guide to Gardening. Or whatever it was called. Nothing we can do with that stump, I guess. Yay! Just like we did in the beginning, remember, Luca? The grave is gone. Would it ever be possible for him to even visit his father's real grave? I hear you and Rolo have big plans for that little treehouse. Yeah, it started getting crowded after we revoked the max capacity 1 Rolo, 1 Luca rule. So we decided to expand. But at least we've got some help with that. How's the internship at Nellie and Alona's shop going? It's been great. I'm hoping it helps me get into the School of Agriculture up at State. Also, Nellie said she'd write a letter of recommendation, which would be huge. I just can't help but worry about leaving Rolo. He's grown up so fast, but he's still my little brother. Yeah, he had a heck of a growth spurt. I don't just mean grown, literally. This morning he was up and finished his chores before he even had breakfast. Well, some of that might be his excitement about the treehouse renovations. Don't tell him this, because it'll go to his head, but I'm really proud of that little punk. I'm sure he feels the same way, but he's just too dang proud to tell you. I know. And that's good news about Nellie and Alona, that they've found a career opportunity. Hi, Gus! Hey, he's got his happy face on. Hey, Gus, how's the tree planting going? Couldn't be better. I'm so grateful to Alona and Nellie for letting me help. I just wasn't built to be a mayor. Too much bureaucracy. Gus, we finished cleaning up the sidewalks. What's next?
When Perennial Harvest collapsed, most of the clipboards skipped town. But some stuck around and dedicated themselves to making things right.
Anyone with a knack for art can help paint the new offices. What are the clipboards? Are they clones? Are they just guys who happen to be like that? Okay. I still love them with their pandy faces. But they're weird. You can count on us. Well, it looks like you really found your calling. I never really felt comfortable telling people what to do. Now this right here. This is something I can be proud of. What is this little red spot on the floor? That doesn't look good, but okay. How's the napping this morning? The most underrated part of a good nap is the view. And the view is getting greener every day. Nice. I see you decided on a name. Oh, I didn't see it. Yep, we had to clear out all the old stuff before putting on the final touch. Oh, they set up shop at Perennial Harvest. I love that. Slow and Dirty Harvest is now official. I like it. It was actually Nellie's idea. There's still a lot of work to do, and the name serves as a reminder. Just because progress is important doesn't mean change should happen fast. In fact, I've learned that the more you care about something, the more important it is to take things slow. Our motto is, go slow and fix things. Amen to that. Alright. I love it. So green, so pretty. Is it like a plant store? I guess so. Gotta get to the treehouse. Okay. So we're gonna do Rolo's thing first, and then Grant's thing, probably. Whatever that is. Hello, fishing dog. Luca, get this. I managed to reel in an actual fish this morning. Seriously? Yeah, an honest-to-goodness, flip-flopping, swim-swamming fish. I don't think I've ever caught an actual fish here. Been at least 7 years since I've caught one. I'd say it's a good omen. What do you do with the fish? Oh, I released it back into the pond. I'm hoping to catch it again tomorrow. It'll get wise to you. I'm sure it didn't like being outside the pond. A little higher. Yep. Little lower. Yep. Little higher. Yep. I'm telling ya, the angle isn't the issue. We need more power to the radio. Luca, there you are. Would you tell him it's not the angle? Hey, I'm not in charge of antenna redesign. Fine, fine. Iggy, just don't do anything drastic until we get back. Who, me? Tish, you're in charge while I'm gone. Yep. They'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. If we really want mission control to turn into something bigger and better, we have to loosen our grip a bit. You're right. Lead the way. Check in with Beck at her house. Alright, I'm glad we have friends in these two. Can we, like, check up in mission control, or... What was that pop-up? What popped? Ah, just that. We can't talk to Iggy and Tish. I would have liked to. Okay. I'm glad we're friends, at least. I'm glad we're friends with those two. I love a bully redemption story. I always say, when I was younger, when I was Luca's age, I would have dug the crap out of a story that ended like the branch where Iggy fell into a pit and Luca became a hero. But now I see that now I'm an adult, I see that bullies are people too, and they're people who are hurting. So I'm really glad he got a true happy ending. Young Mr. Van Horn. How's little Solomon, Sharper doing? Young Sharper seems to enjoy nature more than I. So we do a lot of strolling these days. Has he, you know, attempted to crawl out of his crib and plot world domination? Yeah. Thankfully, no. I spoke at length with Dr. Modeville, and she feels that Sharper's infant mind was not developed enough to retain his previous memories. For all intents and purposes, the child is unmolded clay. Let's hope he's a little nicer the second time around. That is the objective, yes. But really, all I can do is try and hope. 2 activities I am endeavoring to find less distasteful. Well, I think you're doing a great job, and the whole town is ready to help out however we can. I can't wait to teach them to throw a baseball.
Eris did her best to ignore the tears welling in her eyes.
Oh, that would be acceptable. What's today's news that needs knowing? I'll give you tomorrow's headline today. Her old friend Patrick C. Montesquieu, aka William Kerr, just performed a stirring rendition of The Iceman Cometh at the State Correctional Facility. I hear there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Well, I guess he has plenty of time to work on his craft. What exactly was he in jail for? Fraud? I guess. Faking his identity. Or I guess all the unethical things he did as the head of Perennial Harvest. I don't know. There's so much evil in this game, and all of it, I can't tell what was actually illegal or not. He looked to his friends with a thankful smile. After everything that could have gone wrong, everything that did go wrong, we made it. The end.
Closing her eyes, Miss Hatch took a deep, relaxing breath.
Oh, hello, Luca. How are you? Really good, actually. That's wonderful. Did I miss anything? I think you're pretty much up to speed. Have you just been sitting here reading your book, completely oblivious to anything that's going on around you? Luca, do you want a biscotti? On the house. I don't really have time. Zariel, you gotta come and see this. I finally did it. I pulled the perfect espresso. Aw, Lumi. If I didn't know better, I would think you're proud of something. As if. No. It's too late. You are now officially a person that cares. Hey, Luca, can you tell Roxy I'll be free in an hour? Sure thing. My dad's making me stock the shelves for the summer. Oh, you're Mr. Tolliver's daughter. I see. Squirrels. Makes sense. He said it builds character. I think he meant to say it builds calluses. Builds character. Yeah, it builds something alright. Luca, can I interest you in a delicious apple?
He playfully waggled an apple.
No thanks, just saying hello. Well, hello then. Mind telling your mom we need a new crate of jam? Already? It's funny. I used to hide this stuff in the back, terrified that someone would find out about our secret messages. Now everyone wants to get their hands on Eleanor Van Horn's famous spy jam. Wow, back for seconds? If it's not too much trouble. For the longest time, I didn't understand the appeal of ice cream. Who is this boy? He was friends with Solomon, it seemed. I guess he was just his little patsy. It serves no purpose other than to be briefly enjoyed and then it's gone. But it's pretty tasty while it lasts. I'm inclined to agree. I'm glad you're free from the treacheries of your evil friend, I guess. Let's go up this way. See Dawn. Oh, I'm glad you swung by. More follow-up questions for your story? Nope, I got everything I need. Thanks again for that. I sent a draft of the story to a reporter in Capital City. And they offered me an internship. Of course they did. You're an amazing reporter. I don't know about all that. A story about a phony corporation that picked up an entire town of people and moved them to cover up a massive illegal mine shaft full of incredibly hazardous chemicals. Sort of writes itself if you think about it. Just don't forget us when you become a fancy big city reporter. Capital City isn't that far away. I'm gonna have to come back from time to time to check in and see what sort of new trouble you've gotten yourself into. Sorry to disappoint, but my adventuring days are over. Ha! We both know that's not true. What makes you say that? Call it a reporter's intuition. Can I do diner stuff? I'll talk to you first.
Mrs. Fratelli glowed with a carefree smile.
Is that your suitcase? That is 2 weeks of unencumbered tranquility. Excuse me. Would you be so kind as to take my order? 2 weeks of sand, margaritas, and forgotten obligations. Excuse me. I'd left to place an order.
Mrs. Fratelli sighed with a zen-like calm.
Just as soon as the lunch rush ends. I'll be a feather on the wind. You're going on vacation? For the first time in years. And I've got you and your mom to thank. Why's that? She didn't tell you yet? You two are gonna fill in for me at the diner while I'm gone. Just like old times. It's fine, I'll wait. Can we do old times
Luca
now?
squinted at the faded photo of him and his mom at the diner. Memories of that day came flooding back.
Oh boy. Hey, Mrs. Hatch, what can I get you? Oh, I'm not terribly hungry. Something snack size if you could. Okay. Oh boy. Adorable. Incendiary. Caviar. What else is snack sized? Well, what am I supposed to put on this? Lettuce? I call it the novella. Lovely. Maybe it didn't matter what we put on top. Good afternoon, Mr. Achoo! Sorry, these allergies have been killing me. Haven't been able to smell a thing all day. I almost sold Miss Hatch a gallon of spoiled milk this morning. Got anything to help clear out these darn sinuses? Whatever it takes. I just want to be able to smell again. I want to talk to Mom. Okay. Something burnt. I guess it doesn't matter what we put on the bottom as long as we put the peppers on top. Let's just put a regular burger patty on and then the peppers. Achoo! What's wrong? Well, I like spicy peppers. Put them on something that'll really wake up the senses. Okay. Something that'll really wake up the senses. The dead fish? I call this one a cod for the common cold. Oh my, that's spicy. And stinky. I'm sorry, I'll try again. No, don't you see what this means? I can smell again. Looks like your father isn't the only doctor in the family. Alright, this is awesome. This just in. Last chance diner overrun by gremlins. I'm not a gremlin, I'm Luca.
Mr. Wilder adjusted his monocle jokingly.
I stand corrected. In that case, would you believe I have a craving for a burger? You've come to the right place. Indeed, I'll have a nice juicy burger topped with onion. Sounds easy enough. So, one juicy burger with onion. Classic. Here you go. I call it the Wilder. You know I love a good byline. Many thanks. Eris. There we go. Listen well, child. I'm only going to say this once. I require a well-done burger. Got it. When I say well done, I mean it. Well done, no problem. I fear you aren't grasping my request. I want the burger charred beyond recognition. I want it bitter and black. One burnt burger coming up, and top it with the most expensive thing you have. So, burnt burger and caviar? Gotcha. Incendiary and lavish. I'm sure the caviar makes it taste good. May I present the roll, roll, roll your burnt? I can hardly believe it. You've done well. Mrs. Fratelli had caviar stashed back there? The woman is full of surprises. Very good, this will suffice. If it isn't little Luca. Hey, Uncle Nuncreed. How come you haven't been around the house lately? Well, your dad and I had a little disagreement is all. How's he doing? Has he mentioned me? So I guess he really is Uncle Joseph. Not really. He's been busy lately. Sometimes he doesn't come home from work before bedtime. Is that so? Well, tell him I'm thinking of him. You seem sad. Nonsense. What can I get you for lunch? Fact of the matter is, I don't have much of an appetite right now. But Uncle Nuncreed, you gotta eat. I'll make you something special. That'll cheer you up. Something special for Mr. Nuncreed. Well, probably the candy. Because he runs a candy store. I don't know. I just made that up. I call it the cheers looking at you, kid. One burger with a side of good vibes. I can't believe I got it right. I guess all we needed was the smile. Oh, look at you, sweet boy.
Mr. Nuncreed reached down and patted Luca's shoulder with an enormous hand.
You got a lot of your daddy in you, don't you? I guess so. Run along, I'll do my best to clean my plate. I kind of wish I hadn't put it on candy. In that case. I guess the smile was all we needed. I have a coupon here for one free burger. What'll it be? Well, I have a lot of mouths to feed, so give me the biggest burger you have. They must eat a lot, huh? You have no idea. Oh, and throw some lettuce on top. Okay. Lavish, with a little piece of lettuce on top. I call it the too much is never enough. This should keep them at bay. Thank you. I really like that minigame. It's very cute. More than the fishing one, I think. Alrighty, looks like we've got everything we need. Let's get to feeding these folks. Oh, I already fed everyone. You made all the food yourself? What on earth did you put in the burgers? I just used what was lying around. Oh dear, that can't be good. Thanks again, Luca. Best burger I ever ate. Surprisingly competent. Everyone seems happy. You really are a remarkable boy, aren't you? Yes, chef. Satisfy all customers in the cookie minigame. Woo! Alright. Now let's go see Beck, finally. Sorry I stalled so much. I've been waiting so long to finish that minigame. And there's still people to talk to. Oh my gosh. I gotta go in the library.
Over the school year, Kato and Bert had become close friends.
But did you know that when they covered up the source, they found a new species of fungus? Yep, and they're studying it at the new labs. Did you know that Beacon Pines is now the smallest town in the county? Yep, close to the population before Perennial Harvest moved in.
It typically went on like this for quite some time.
Aww. Autism buddies. Love it.
Luca peeked over Piper's shoulder. Laid stealthily inside a large volume of mathematics was the first issue of Hank Atomic.
Piper, are you reading Hank Atomic? Do you mind not telling anyone? I've kinda got a reputation to uphold. Oh, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Just about every kid in town reads Hank Atomic. Honestly, I'm excited for you. What I'd give to start over fresh. To experience it again for the first time. I guess that's the downside of finishing something nice. At least now I can enjoy it again through you. Promise to tell me about it as you go? Sure thing. And you're the Hank Atomic fan, aren't you? I can't believe it's over. Yeah, the town's really starting to turn a new leaf. The town? I was talking about Hank Atomic. I just finished the last issue. How was it? As great as always. Hank finally returned to Earth. But I just feel weird now. Weird can be cool. It just means you're ready for something new. Any suggestions? You could ask Miss Hatch about what she's always reading. She seems to really enjoy it. Huh, maybe I'll do that. Alright, let us go. Hi, Mr. Nuncreed. Oh, look at all the bunnies. Jeff's Wild Ride. Gotta love the business venture, Jeff. Hey, Mr. Nuncreed. I'm gonna go see my dad in a bit. Did you want to come with? Even after everything I did, you'd still...
Mr. Nuncreed shook his head.
You really are your father's son, aren't you? I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Well, you're always invited. I bet he'd love to hear from you. I'll visit Walt in my own time. You run along now. Look at all the bunnies lined up.
With perennial harvest gone, the transportation tubes were left unused.
Come on, come on, come all. No one is too big, no one is too small. For Jeff's Wild Ride.
Well, maybe not completely unused.
Just one piece of candy. For the ride of your life. Who's next? Me. Cute. Guess what? Yesterday I saw Dynasties Titius. And that's good? It's great! I haven't spotted one of those in years. At this rate, Beacon Pines is going to become the bug capital of the county. Awesome. Nothing back this way. Nothing in that direction. Okay. That's a good thing, I think. I have news I think you'll enjoy. This morning, I unpacked my last box. You're officially moved in! It's just a box. Let's not blow this out of proportion. It sounds an awful lot like putting down roots. I guess I decided this place is root-worthy. You're gonna be stuck with me for the foreseeable future. I do have to warn you, most years aren't going to be as interesting as this one. I think I'll manage. Ready? Before we go, there's a bit of a surprise. What? A tree? My mom's prepared this tree especially for you. They didn't have to do that. It wasn't just them. Just about the whole town pitched in. We all owe you. It should do okay in the cold of old Beacon Pines. And thrive as things warm up. That's perfect. Alright, I think I am ready. I think I was pretty thorough talking to everybody. Alright, goodbye, Beacon Pines.
After the foul harvest destroyed their wealth and reputation, the Valentines shuttered off their estate from the rest of town.
That's an old tooltip I guess I never put down, but now I've really been thorough, even finding old things I missed. Alright, Jeff, take us away. Ah, you got it. Now that's a good-looking tree. Being a special occasion and whatnot, the ride's on the house. You're gonna want to hang on tight to that little tree.
I think this is it. The end I've been waiting for. Honestly, I'd begun to lose hope of ever finding it. But then you came along. I don't know exactly how to thank you. It's hard to explain how much this means to me. It's funny, now that our time together is finally ending. I'm at a loss for words. Let's just watch the end together.
Done. A good little tree. The best little tree. Thank you, children. This means a lot. Yeah, thanks. For everything. Shucks, I only did what any super awesome best buddy would have done. We should probably give you some time alone now. You good? Yeah, I am. It's been a wild year. How are you feeling? Everyone keeps asking me that. I'm fine, really. Pa always says the only thing fitter than a fiddle is a cello. I feel like a dang cello. Well, if you ever stop feeling like a cello, I'm here for you. I know. You don't even have to say it. You two make an awesome pair. Excuse me? We're a trio now. Yep. Thanks. There's just one thing missing now that you're a part of the group. Missing? Let me tell you a little story about a man named Hank Atomic. Oh, God. I won't be long. We'll be waiting for you back at the phone booth. I found the perfect way to start our summer. You've got some good friends. I'm so proud of you. Your father would be so proud. I know. Mom, can I ask you a question? Do you ever dream about Dad? Not a night goes by that I don't. Are you ever afraid that you're going to forget him? Forget what he looked like? Forget his voice? No, because so much of him lives on in you. He loved that old tree, but I know he would have loved this one more. Oh, that's why they're planting a tree here. Because the tree that his old grave was by was so important to him. Or I guess not his old grave, but the fake grave. It was so important to him. So they're planting a new one. I got it. Because his two favorite people planted it. I'll give you two a moment. Hey, Dad. Dr. Modwell says that over the next few years this place should warm up. So you won't have to be so cold for much longer. I think I finally understand why you left that night. There were things you believed in. Big things. Those beliefs were the things that made you, you. If you wouldn't have stood up to Sharper, stood up for what you believed in, you wouldn't have been the same person anymore. You had to go. But that didn't mean you loved us any less. I might not visit you as much as I used to. I know you understand. The end. Close the book. Alright! So that was Beacon Pines. Very nice game. I did really like it. I enjoyed the story. I like this style of visual novel where I mean, I said before it reminds me a lot of Zero Escape. The way that you are expected to go down every branch, but it's kind of a winding path to get there. I really enjoy that. I find that really satisfying. I really enjoy like scouring the world to find everything we need to move on in another branch. Yeah, I find the way this game was organized and structured very interesting and very satisfying to play. I liked the story itself. A lot of really interesting twists and turns, and I feel like most everything was wrapped up pretty satisfyingly. There was a point when I was like, there's no way they're going to be able to wrap up all these different threads in a satisfying way, but they really did. They really did. I liked the characters. I enjoyed the characters very much. I don't know who I'd say my favorite is. Maybe Beck. Beck was great. I really liked her and her mom's. Yeah, and I really liked the portraits. The stuff I didn't like so much in this game had to do with, like, certain aspects of the presentation. Like, I didn't like the overworld, like, the world you can move Luca around in. It, the animation just seemed very, like, amateurish to me, and the fact that they tried to like stage so many important action scenes in that, like, very like, they almost seemed like children's puppets, like being jerked around, you know? The fact that they tried to stage so many like important moments in that setting, it kind of undermined it a little bit. Um, so that aspect of the visual presentation I didn't really like. The the portraits though were great, and I feel like I think that the way I would describe this game is a little bit tonally confused because it mixes these cute things and the spooky things in a way that doesn't entirely jive for me. Like, the one place I really feel like it worked was in those like painted sprites. Like, they're really cute, but they're detailed and realistic enough that you get freaked out by seeing Luca holding a severed arm or Iggy's face mangled and twisted, you know? Um, didn't work so well in the overworld. And the other problem I had with the presentation in this game is the narrator. I found her really annoying, unfortunately. Um, I mean, she wrote the book, and kudos, because the writing was really good, but sometimes when it was being narrated and read aloud by this, like, she seemed like an overly enthusiastic host on like a children's TV show, you know? Um, and I just found her a little, she got under my skin. But I don't know, it was really those two things that I feel like I'm going on and on about, but just the overworld animation and the narrator kind of were kind of for me, but the rest of it, the writing itself, the story, the characters, the painted sprites, they were all really good, and I don't know, it was just a nice satisfying little thing to complete this storybook. So, yeah, I'm glad I played this game. And thank you for watching if you did. Um, so I guess I'm trying to think what I'm gonna play next. Um, so I am playing. This is one of two visual novels I'm currently playing because I'm also playing Slay the Princess right now. So I'll probably go in a different direction for the series I replace this with. Maybe a puzzle game. Um, maybe a more puzzly adventure game. I don't know. Maybe something more action oriented, but I am playing Hades 2 as well. So I don't know. I'll figure it out in a few days. And until then, I have been Mars, and I will be back with another game. Thanks for watching. Bye.